All right. Hey, everyone. How's it going? It's Richard, and I hope you're all doing well. Happy 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Orange County / LA area. And today's topic we're going to focus on our live is our struggles will never go away until we face them. So yesterday I just had this moment where I realized that I was kind of falling into this cycle, and pretty much I don't know if you have ever faced something similar to this, but what happens is like I get committed, and then I start working hard, working hard, and then all of a sudden I notice myself, I start slipping away from my commitments. I start getting more relaxed, and then eventually like I kind of lose a little bit of accountability for myself. Self accountability has been something that's been very challenging for me in my life. And it's something that I constantly try to continue to push myself towards. But what I realize is that in my life, accountability is just one of those things that I've been struggling with. And I realized the only way I'm going to, how do I say this? The only way I'm going to overcome this challenge and this struggle is by literally just choosing to keep myself accountable. So I want to give you a little bit of context. So again, today's conversation is about the fact okay, so what I want you to think, what I want you to do. I see some people on. Bob Top, good to see you on. Hello. I see Arun, Karen, Nina. Good to see y'all on. So what I want you to think about is maybe just like a challenge or a struggle that you're dealing with right now. Think about, it could be anything. You could be struggling with your academics, but I would say more so, think about something you're struggling with that's more internal, like that negative voice conversation, that that voice that says like, oh man, I'm such a procrastinator, or Rico, good to see you on, brother. Think about that voice in your head, that limiting belief that you have, like, I'm not responsible enough. I'm not capable enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not organized enough. And I just want you to think about maybe just one challenge, like maybe your biggest challenge that you have right now that's kind of holding you back from maybe being happy with your life. So a good example, because I know a lot of people here, especially, a lot of my YouTube subscribers are here, a lot of you, because you watch maybe a video on video game addiction. And so I think a lot of people who are watching this right now might be struggling with, how do I quit video games? I'm struggling because video games provides this outlet, and I feel like my life would not be, how do I say this? My life would not be very eventful or meaningful if I weren't playing video games. So I don't know how to say this. I feel like no matter the bigger the struggle is, obviously the harder it is for us to get past it. But really, sometimes we feel like there's some easy solution to get past something, and I don't know, maybe there is, but for the most part, I get this feeling that if we have a challenge in our life, the only way to get through it is literally just working right through it. It's like literally when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel like, oh my goodness, like I don't want to deal with it, I'm going to avoid the problem. Whenever you have that like feeling of avoidance, or maybe feeling upset, or I'm not sure your kind of style of dealing with stressful situations, but what I realize is those situations that make us feel stressful, the ones that we try to pretend aren't there, the one that we try to ignore or avoid, they're always going to stay with us for the rest of our lives until we address them. So let me summarize very quickly what I'm trying to say here. So in short, what I realize is if you have a problem that's bothering you today, it will continue to bother you for the rest of your life unless you choose to solve the problem. So let me tell you why this is important. This is important because in our life we have a choice. Our choice can be either we could push away our problem, procrastinate on it a little bit, like, oh man, I don't feel like dealing with that right now. Like that's too much stress for me. And then what's going to happen? We're going to push off that problem, and guess what? We hope it's going to go away. But guess what? It's going to keep showing up in our lives over and over and over again until we decide to kind of suck it up and deal with it head on. Like that's what I've been learning. So let's see. Hold on. Let me see if there's any comments here. All right, so I'll read comments quickly, and then I'll share a little bit of a story that the limiting belief, like the struggle that I had last night, and it was a pretty big struggle for me. Very, very big moment in my life. So Rico says, not being able to speak in public or in a group. I was at a party and they asked me why I wasn't talking. I was zoned out. And then Bob Top says, yes, I do that often. I avoid instead of solving it right then when I should. Limit break 32. Hello to you. All right, so here's what happened to me last night, and this is why I'm having this conversation right now. So again, this conversation is about why our struggles will never ever go away until we face them. So last night, so for those of you who don't know, I created this 3-month LOD, which stands for Letter of Declaration. And pretty much what this is this is a commitment letter to myself that I'm going to accomplish 100% of what I write down of all these goals in the next 3 months, no matter what. Like, that is my commitment. And hold on, I'm going to pull up my stats tracker right now. I have it in front of me. And so every single day, it's like a little Excel sheet. I'll explain to you what it is because I can't screen share right now. But essentially, there's about 22 items listed here. We'll say about 20. 20? Yeah, we'll say there's about 20 items listed here. And this is my, almost like I have a daily schedule. So every single morning, I have a checklist. It's literally meditation, affirmations, visualization in the morning. And then I read and exercise every single day. I have other check marks like, making sure I'm calling my mom, keeping in touch with my brother, hanging out with certain friends. And let's see. And then I'm also tracking, if I followed my diet for today. And then also in my journaling and writing out like what I'm grateful for every single day. Like, those are my core things that I do every single day, pretty much. So my challenge right now is there are a few items on here that I kind of get tired or lazy and then I kind of push off. And what I realize is it might not seem like a big deal to like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to exercise today. You know what? I'm going to push it off. I'm going to push it off a little bit, and maybe I'll exercise tomorrow morning. I'll just double up my workout. Scott, by the way, Scott is my accountability partner for exercising. Scott, please forgive me. Yesterday I didn't work out, and today I doubled my workout. But that's not okay. Like I don't want to make it seem like that's okay to skip a day and then double up the next day. Sure, maybe I'm doing it, but that's not what I committed to. I committed to exercising 7 days a week, 30 minutes every single day. And guess what? I didn't do it yesterday. So that is not an excuse for me to, be flexible. So why I bring this up is because I just realized, like, on yesterday's stream, I think I mentioned something like, oh, I'm trying to be flexible and things like that. But the thing is, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to exercise every single day. And guess what? Me pushing it off till tomorrow and doubling my workout tomorrow doesn't count because I already broke my commitment, So I was letting myself slide. And I don't know how to say this. Like, I'm still trying to process this, to be very, very frank and honest. Like, I just realized, like, the reason I didn't exercise yesterday was because I didn't feel like it. But guess what? I made the commitment. Sure, I want to repeat that. I did accomplish it today. I doubled up today's workout to fulfill yesterday's requirement, but I still didn't meet the requirement, or I still didn't do it on time, which was my commitment. So what is my point here? My point here is, like, we're going to constantly keep struggling. We're going to constantly keep repeating the same bad habits that we have until we choose to suck it up and just do it. So let's talk about my workout yesterday. I should have, despite me not, quote unquote, having enough time, or, it being inconvenient, or me not feeling like it, like, I don't know how to say it, like, it doesn't matter. It's like, if I want to be, like, how do I say this? If I want to become the man that I want to be, I get to do exactly what I say, whether I feel like it or not. I know that's, like, really annoying. For some of you, you're like, oh man, that sounds really annoying. But really, like, how do I say this? It's like, even though in the moment it might feel really, really tough for me to be like, oh man, I'm so busy. You know, it's 11 p.m. at night right now. Like, I don't want to exercise. Like, it's about bedtime right now. I should go to sleep. No, you know, it's like when we push ourselves to do things that we don't want to do, I feel like that's kind of, that's like having that thick skin is like, that's what's going to push us forward into accomplishing our goals. So, I don't know. There's a lot to talk about in this moment right now. So yesterday I had a little bit of a breakdown. Not just a breakdown, not like emotional breakdown, but more like just breakdown, meaning I didn't accomplish what I said I would. So I'm gonna look at my tracker right now. So some things that I did not do last night. Last night, I was feeling super unmotivated to journal. Like I was tired. I was so sleepy, and I'm just like, you know what? What I did. It's not like I completely gave up on it for journaling. I was like, you know what? I'm really tired right now. Check this out. So all I had to do before going to sleep were two main things. Number one is like brush my teeth, you know, nighttime ritual. Number two is journal. That's it. Then I could have gone to sleep peacefully. But guess what? In that moment last night, around 11 p.m., I don't remember exactly when, at 11 p.m., my mind was just like, dude, Richard, I'm like, you're so tired. Like, you know, I don't feel like journaling. I don't feel like brushing my teeth. I'm going to take a quick 30-minute nap and then brush my teeth and journal and then go to sleep. Isn't that kind of silly? But like, I didn't feel like doing it. And guess what happened? I set my alarm, you know, put my phone across, you know, in the table, like across the room from my bed. And my alarm went off, but guess what? I slept right through it. Like, and after a while, the alarm shuts itself off. So I slept all night, didn't brush my teeth, and I didn't journal. So I didn't accomplish what I said I would. How do I say this? The way I'm speaking to you right now is I'm speaking to you as a very imperfect human being. You know, I'm not. I can't say I'm speaking to you as a role model right now. Like that struggle is still there. That struggle of when I don't feel like doing it, am I going to do it? Honestly, I still question myself. And I had a few thoughts come up in my mind last night about this. I realized that for myself, again, like this whole conversation states, if I don't choose to push past the pain, the discomfort, the laziness, whatever you want to call it, if I don't do that, guess what? This struggle is going to persist throughout my whole entire life until I make the decision to change it. So imagine this. Imagine in this moment, I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? I'm not standing for that BS anymore. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm just going to do it, even if I don't feel like doing it. Imagine if I made that decision right now, then I wouldn't have to ever worry again about, you know, feeling bad about not accomplishing a task. But if I continue the habit, that bad habit of committing to doing something and then not doing it, and then I continue to kind of procrastinate on things and I don't do it, guess what? I might live for another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of my life feeling sorry for myself. You know, being sad, I'm like, oh, Richard, you know, like you should have done it. And guess what? Just imagine if you made a decision and you're like, you know what? Instead of whatever it is, whatever you have to do, let's say it's exercise or brush your teeth or journaling, whatever it is. Let's say you continue to make the decision over and over that you're like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to do it. And then let's fast forward in your life. Maybe 30, 40 years from today. I don't know how old you are. If you're 20 years old, I'm going to use 20 because it's an easy number. If you're 20 years old and you fast forward 40 years into your future when you're 60 years old, and you imagine if you didn't change that habit of just doing it when you said you would do it. Imagine like your level of self-esteem when you're 60. Chances are you're going to feel kind of disappointed in yourself. You're going to feel disappointed that you didn't push through and that you didn't actually go for it and do what you said you were going to do. So there's a quote that many of you have probably heard, and if you haven't, that's okay. The quote is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. You know, so I'm going to repeat that again. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And it's this idea of like, even the small little things, that small little task that you chose not to do, maybe it's like, you shouldn't have been playing video games, but you decided to play video games because you felt like it. You know, that small little choice is going to amplify. It's going to be like a little, like a megaphone. It's going to be like, it's going to, what's that? It has like a little ripple effect. There's a phrase I'm trying to figure out, but I can't, it's not coming to me. But there's going to be like this, it's going to magnify. It's going to like bleed into the other areas of your life. You know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. It's, you know, there's a part of me that agrees with this quote and there's a part of me that doesn't agree with certain parts of the quote. Anyway, the point is like, really how you do one thing is how you do everything. It's like, if you let one little thing slide in, you know, this area of your life, it's going to show up in other places of your life. Like, that's just the way it is. So yeah, this is, to me, has kind of been a little bit mind-blowing in a way. It's like, I can't believe I'm in this situation where last night I had a choice. Last night I had a choice, and honestly, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like doing meditation anymore. I don't feel like doing affirmations. I don't feel like doing visualizations. I made a commitment to do it, but I just don't feel like doing it anymore. I don't see the purpose to doing it. And I realized, like, last night, my mindset was like, I'm not committed anymore. That's what my mind said. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Just my mind was like, I don't know how I'm going to stick with this commitment. Like, I don't see the purpose of it. But what I do know deep down inside is I created this commitment to begin with for a reason. And I believe my mind is just trying to justify itself out so I don't have to do it anymore. I don't have to do what's uncomfortable and annoying and takes up time. And like, it's the thing I have so much resistance towards doing, because I don't want, my natural self does not want the feeling of pain and discomfort, and you know, that I'm just going to go with pain and discomfort. But is that the right thing to do? I don't think so. You know, I think this is funny. I think we get as human beings, we get to learn to embrace pain and discomfort. You know, again, I'm not speaking as your role model. You know, I'm not speaking as a role model. I'm speaking as someone who is going through this journey and trying to figure it out himself. Like, literally, it's, I wish I could be stronger. I wish, you know, I wish I can be that role model, that perfect role model that's pushing through, that's doing what's uncomfortable. It's a process. It really is. That's all I have to say. And I'm continuing to build myself up. But, you know, there's so many people that I look up to. I'm just like, how the heck do you create all this self-discipline to push yourself through stuff that you don't want to do? Like, to me, that's impressive. So, yeah. All right, let's see. I think I see some comments here. All right, let's see. Yes, I do. I avoid and said okay. Jorge 347 says, "Hey man, my dad is always saying I'm trash and will never amount to anything. You got anything to overcome this?" Jorge, thank you for sharing that comment. Like, that's unfortunate. You know, it's, I don't know how to say this. It's like, as human beings, we're all dealt a card of hands, and we don't get to choose what our the hand we're dealt. We can only choose how we play them, right? So in this case, Jorge, if you're still on, I hope you are. Let's see. I don't know how to say it's like, Jorge, like, if that's how your dad is treating you, this is one of those moments where you can't listen to him. You like don't let his voice impact you. You know, it's like, I'll tell you right now, if anyone ever puts you down, it's because they are struggling with their own self-esteem. They're struggling with their own challenges, and I don't know, there's so many different like routes and thoughts going on right now. So part of the reason why people put other people down is so they can feel better about themselves. You know, it's like, let's say I believe all humans are equal. You know, there's no one's better than another person. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. It doesn't matter how popular you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. If you're an American or African or Asian, like, it doesn't matter. You know, everyone's equal. You know, in our society, we've kind of created like this whole social structure and all this BS stuff. Ashanti, good to see you on. If you're on, happy birthday. I just want to wish everyone could wish Ashanti a happy birthday. I believe, is it still today? I believe it's today. Thank you for hopping on, brother. Appreciate it. All right, Jose, good to see you on. Good to see you on. Thanks for hopping in. Hopping in. So, Jorge, going back to your question, you were talking about, let's see, your dad saying that you're trash. Like seriously, first of all, I don't know how to say this. Like, I don't want to say I'm sorry, but I do feel a little bit sorry. Like, I know it's not my fault, but it's sad that people, especially fathers who are supposed to raise their children up, fathers who are supposed to lift their sons up and say, hey, you are such a great person, you can do it. Like, that's what a father should be doing. So look, there's challenges, Jorge, but just know like you got to find better. You got to find other role models. Like, that's what I got to say. Like, just, you got to find other role models. Like, don't listen to that negative voice, because that stuff is just going to bring you down, and you don't deserve that. Like, Jorge, you were so much better than that. Seriously. I don't know how to express this. It's like, it's so unfortunate that in a way parents aren't perfect. I mean, that's life, right? Like, parents are not perfect. Yeah, we all struggle with things with family. I know some people who have incredible families, but I'm sure they have their own struggles. But my main point is, most of us don't have perfect parents. Probably all of us, really. So Jorge, continue to surround yourself with positive people. Again, I'm going to use this quote because it's such a great quote. Many of you probably heard of it, which is, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you're spending a lot of time with your dad, guess what? You're going to become like your dad. But the more time you spend away from that negative influence, the more time you spend away from people who are going to lift you up, friends who are saying, dude, Jorge, you're the man. Like, you're freaking awesome. Like, I love the way you do this. I love the way you care for people. I love the way, you do, like, you're always there for people. You always listen to people, whatever your skill set is, whatever your strengths are. Everyone has their strengths, and just surround yourself with positive people. That's what you get to do. Seriously. Yeah. Let's see. Ashanti, if you're still on, Bob Top says happy birthday from YouTube. Rico Solis from YouTube also says happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate all that very much. Ashanti says, you rock, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Chris Eric Martinez, good to see you on. I don't know which one the twins are on right now, but thanks for hopping on. Abiz. Let's see. You explained it so well. Happy to know that there is no secret formula. Let's see. Ashanti, Jorge Ashanti says hello to you. Wait. Yeah, there we go. And Katie, good to see you on. Good to see you on. Thanks for hopping on. All right. So let's see. Rico Solis asks, are you talking about the anxiety too, or no? I need a little bit more context around that. Sorry, I forgot. We had too many conversations in between. Yes. Rico, let me know. Let's see. Am I talking about anxiety? Rico, can you give me a little bit of background or a little context around that? Sorry, I don't I don't recall what we were talking about earlier. All right. Cali Day? I'm going to go with Cali Day. Cali Day says, I've been dealing with a friend who always do self-pity. I really want to help, but now it's really tiring me out. All right. So Cali Day, thank you for this question or this comment. It has a lot of depth. So I love this question because I feel like it's such a raw, internal, vulnerable feeling that we as human beings feel, but may not necessarily voice very often. So Callie, let's see a few things. First of all, if your friend is self-pitying him or herself, obviously, like that is straight up being a victim of your circumstances. So you have 2 choices in your life. You could either take responsibility for everything that happens in your life, or you could be a victim. You could blame people, you can blame the environment, you can blame the situation, that everything is other people's fault. And, oh, I'm so sorry. I feel, poor me for all the crap that's happening in my life. I don't deserve this, all that stuff, and I don't know how to say this. It's like, Callie, let's see, you're saying that, hold on. You want to help out, but it's really tiring you out. So Callie, honestly, I feel like the first thing you get to do in a way is you get to take care of yourself. If it's tiring you out, if it's draining you, honestly, part of it is like you get to step away from the situation. fill up your cup first. You know, you got your cup, it's half full. You got to overflow your cup so it's trickling down, and you can fill your friend's cup who is struggling with his or her problems. You know, it's when we try to give, you know, pour into other people's cups when our cups aren't full, it's super draining, you know, and we don't deserve that for ourselves. Like you got to take care of yourself first. So that's what I got to say. That's as simple as that. And look, I think a lot of us have friends who are struggling, and you know, there's a lot of people who message me, you know, hey Richard, can you kind of I'm going through this challenge, can you help me out? For the most part, I do respond. However, there are times where I feel so drained, not right now, but like when I'm, you know, in a low and I'm just like, I feel so drained, I don't know how to respond back, but I feel like I should. Honestly, sometimes I'll kind of respond to people real briefly, like, hey, you know, I need to take care of myself or whatever it is. I need to go away for a little bit, and then, you know, when I feel better, I will respond. Or sometimes I just, unfortunately, if I'm feeling like that really low, and I just need to take care of myself, I take a break. I don't respond to comments for a while, and then after I feel better, then I'll go back to responding comments. So it's a little bit of a balance. You know, you got to read the situation. Arun Fernandez, good to see you on. Hello. Alrighty. Jorge says thank you, man. I'll implement your advice. Perfect. Hey, anyone, Jorge or anyone else is on right now, if you have any more questions, number one, just ask them on this live, or if it's a little bit more private, or like, you know, like, hey, I didn't really understand what you talked about in the live, don't be afraid to shoot me a message. You know, shoot me a Facebook message, or you could email me, richard@richardquo.com. That's just my email address, richard@richardquo.com. So, and I'm happy to, you know, answer whatever questions that there are. Alrighty. Let's see, Rico Salas, back to you. Hey Rico, by the way, I just want to say thank you so much for always hopping on the streams. Like, you've been so active for like the past, I don't know how many weeks, but I almost see you on every single day. So I appreciate that a lot, man. All right, Rico says, social anxiety, I don't know what to do. I'm losing my friends because I don't talk. I can't talk, I'm lost. All right, so let's see. I don't know what I'm going to do, Jorge. Okay, and let me see. All right, so Rico Salas, I'm gonna how do I say this? What's the word? I'm going to rephrase what you're saying just to make sure that I'm understanding what you're trying to say. So, Rico, you're saying you deal with social anxiety. You don't know what to do. You're losing friends because you're shy. You're afraid of talking, and you feel a little bit lost. Like, well, what do you do? So. What I'm hearing you say, Rico, is that, let's see, essentially, maybe you have a few friends, but you feel like you're kind of losing them because you're shy, you're afraid, you have social anxiety, you know, you're afraid, like, also, it doesn't help that you're afraid to lose your friends because you're afraid of saying the wrong thing. That's kind of what I'm gathering from what you're saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, or let me know if I'm right, okay? I'd love to hear that. Kiargo, I'll read your comment in just a second. Let's finish up Rico's little comment about social anxiety. So, Rico, I don't know your personality. You know, I don't know how you gel with people. I mean, besides what you stated to me, which is you struggle with social anxiety. What I will tell you is a ton of people struggle with social anxiety. I feel like I almost feel like most people in their lives struggle with social anxiety. It's just some people kind of quote unquote figure it out before others, which is perfectly okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you figure it out right now, or it doesn't matter if you figure out social anxiety when you're 40 or 60, you know? Of course, you want to figure out sooner than later. But, you know, don't compare yourself with other people. Just go on your journey and continue. As long as you are improving yourself, that's all that really matters. Like, literally, don't put pressure on yourself that you got to be like, oh, I got to be the super social person compared to, you know, I look at everyone else. Everyone looks like they're getting along together. You know, don't focus on feeling left out. Like, seriously, when I look back at my life, I struggled so much with, you could say, social anxiety. I struggled so much with feeling like I belong somewhere. And I put so much pressure on myself to fit in, to be accepted by other people. And that whole journey took me a really long time to figure out. Uh, I'm gonna say I don't know if I'm a late bloomer in terms of understanding social situations. I will say today I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of social situations. Like I could read people fairly well. Although there is still part of me that still struggles with having a little bit of anxiety when I talk, so it's perfectly okay. I have both. There's parts of me that I feel very confident, and there's a part of me that feels anxious when I'm in social settings. So carry a little bit of both. A V ready. Good to see you on. Good to see you on. Thanks for hopping on. So, Rico, let's answer your question. How do you deal with social anxiety? How do you improve and make more friends, things like that? So, let's see. First things first is just what I just told you to do right now, which is accept yourself. Like literally, don't put pressure on yourself. The more pressure you put on yourself, that like, oh man, I don't feel like I fit in. I don't have any friends. The more pressure you put on yourself, the more you feel disappointed. Don't feel disappointed, by the way. The more you feel disappointed in yourself, the harder it's going to be to socialize and make friends. Like literally, I don't know how to say it. Like, I know this is so much easier said than done, but part of it is almost like you just gotta like not give an F. Like you just gotta not care so much about whether you make a friend or not. You just like have fun, go with the flow. Like that's, and when you kind of just go with the flow, and don't be afraid to screw up. Don't be afraid to have an awkward moment. Like that's how you learn to be less socially awkward. Like just embrace every single awkward moment that you have socially, because guess what? Every single awkward moment that you have is just going to help you grow and develop and become more socially aware and connect with people better. Like that's it. Like you're not alone. We all have to go through this process of trying to understand how do we connect with people. This is awkward, and I'm going to use dating or asking girls out as a perfect example for me. I wish I could remember the first time I ever asked a girl. Oh goodness. I'm thinking back at high school right now. I was so freaking shy. Like I remember asking my first girlfriend out, and I was so shy. I was like, I knew I had to do it. I knew before she became my girlfriend, I asked her to a dance, and I was so shy. Like I was so nervous. I remember like my head was just racing. I was just like, oh my goodness, like what's gonna happen? And like I played a song on guitar for her. By the way, I don't really play guitar and I don't really sing, but I played the easiest song in the book, Hey There Delilah. Goodness. And like, I don't know how to say this. It's like, I just mustered up the courage. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do it. Like, if she rejects me, whatever. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, like you got to put yourself out there. Rico Salas, you just got to put yourself out there. Be okay with getting rejected. Be okay with being judged. Be okay with awkward situations. And one step at a time. The more you practice social interactions, the better you're going to get. All right, brother. Like, don't feel depressed. Seriously, like feeling depressed is not necessary. I get it. Like you're, Rico. I'm being very. I'm trying to be as honest as possible here. Like, you're being super, super hard on yourself. You're putting these expectations that are almost unrealistic. And Rico, like the only reason why you're feeling depressed and sad is because you are putting the expectations on yourself. Why? Because you're looking at other people and you're comparing yourself with other people. You're like, oh man, I wish I could be as, socially accepted or socially like popular as this other person. Screw that. Stop comparing yourself with other people. If I could leave you with one thing, Rico, is stop comparing yourself with other people. Like, I get it. It might feel like this lonely journey of like, oh man, I don't feel like I belong here. I don't feel like I have friends. And I don't know how to say it's like, just be okay. Be okay with not having friends for now, and the more you develop yourself, the more you're going to start connecting with people and you're going to make more friends. Like it's like I have complete faith, Rico, that you are going to have a lot of friends. And hold on, let me rephrase that. I have complete faith that you're going to find friends and be happy. Now, I'm not like whether you have a lot of friends or not, like that's completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter how many friends you have. Really, what's more important is the quality of friends that you have. And at the end of the day, are you happy with them? And Rico, again, I have no doubt that you'll find your group of friends. Just be patient. You know, I'm gonna relate this for me in dating. I was single for 9 years. I'm gonna repeat that again. I was single for 9 whole years. From, what was that, like, well, if I do the math, it's 2017, so minus 9. Since 2008 until 2017, Richard was single. So my point in telling you this is, guess what? I had a ton of ups and downs. I had a ton of moments where I was just like, man, I feel so worthless. No one's gonna like me. I don't feel like I belong. You know, it seems like my other friends are like, my ex-girlfriend, who's also my best friend, has already dated 6, 7 people, and I've dated 0. You know, it's like, it's so easy for us to beat ourselves up and feel sorry about ourselves and feel depressed. But just know, like, if you keep being persistent, you will find the right friends. That's what I have to say. That's what I did with my relationships too. It's like, you know, I felt, there's so many times I felt so down, so like depressed. I was just like, oh man, like no girl's ever gonna like me. Nothing is ever gonna work out. And then guess what? I'll like push really hard. I'll work really hard. I'll exercise more. I'll you know, become this motivational speaker guy. Like I'll make myself even better. And guess what? You know, even if we make ourselves better, it does not guarantee that we're gonna find the right friends or relationship. You know, we just gotta keep pushing. Hold on. Here we go. The only way you're not going to find friends or a relationship is if you give up. That's it. The only way you're not going to find a friend or a relationship that you can really connect with is if you give up. If you keep pushing forward, you will never, ever fail. If you keep pushing forward, you will never, ever fail. You will always find that person. You know, you'll always find that friend. So that was my mentality with dating. It's the same thing with friends. It's like, if you're looking for friends, you know, you want to figure that stuff out. Like, you just got to keep pushing. You know, times will get tough. Keep pushing through. All right, Rico, I see a lot of your comments. All right, let's see. Rico says, let's see. I'm going to trust what you say. I just don't know why I'm this way. I am this way. I don't though. Hello, I am not able to talk. Let's see. So Rico, when you say you're not able to talk, I would love for you to elaborate a little bit more on that. Kevin, thanks for sharing. Kevin said, been single for 20 years. All right. I'm going to say congratulations for that. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter. Who cares? You know, like, I get it. You know, many of us want to be in relationships. That's very human. It's okay if you've been single. Keep pushing forward. We're all going to find that right match for whoever does want to be in a relationship. Keely says, single my whole life, 28 years. Yeah, what's up? There we go. Loud and proud. Seriously, like, just embrace it. Embrace it. Keep moving forward. Keep bettering yourself, and you're gonna find the right person for sure. Like, that's it. As long as you don't quit, you're gonna be better. Okay, so Rico, let's go. I'm gonna go back to what you're saying. So Rico, you're saying I'm not able to talk. What exactly does that mean? Does that mean you're mute, like you can't talk, or does that mean you're just super shy and you don't know what to say? All right, Rico, here we go here. I mentioned this, I touched upon this earlier, but if you don't feel like, okay, hold on, super shy. Cool, thank you. So Rico, here, we need to do some little mental reframing here, okay? I don't know how to call it, NLP, psychology, I'm just making BS terms. Okay, so anyway, Rico, so you just told me that you can't talk. Is that true or false? Is that true or false? Can you talk? Yes or no? Can you verbally talk? So the answer is yes. You can talk, you're just very shy. So what I want you to do, Rico, or what you get to do, is you get to reframe the story that you have in your mind. Because your story, that negative belief, is what's holding you back. So you just told me, I can't talk. Now, I understand what you're trying to say. When you say I can't talk, it just means you're very shy. But the fact that you tell yourself, I can't talk, guess what? it's a little bit of a exaggeration. It's a little bit of in your mind you're like, oh, I can't talk, I can't, like, I'm not able to, I'm too shy. So Rico, it's literally, this is so Rico, this is so perfect. We've been talking about this for a while, like, about your situation, and this is such a perfect example. It's going to help so many other people who are on right now. Rico says, I don't want to drink to be able to talk. Perfect. I don't drink either, by the way. I mean, once a year at most, type of thing. I don't like drinking. Anyway, Rico. So this conversation is, our struggles will never go away until we face them. That is the topic of today. Guess what? Your social anxiety, your shyness will never ever go away until you choose to face them. Until you choose to dig deep inside, find the courage that you have. You already have courage. It's inside of you. Everyone has courage. Rico, you have courage inside of you. So you got to dig deep inside, find that courage and just start talking to people. Don't worry about screwing up. Don't worry. Like, it will not be the end of the world. If you screw up, if you get rejected and people laugh at you, brush it off. Easier said than done. I get it. It's freaking scary. And Rico, I could sense your energy. I could sense how big of a challenge it is for you to have a conversation with people. I get it. Like, I could feel it just through the words that you're saying. You're communicating with me. Like, it's, I'm betting, Rico, you're not the only one who struggles with social anxiety, especially for the fact that we actually got people who are on right now and they're still on the stream because they're interested in hearing about this topic. We got 17 people on right now, and that's more than usual. And that's probably because people are struggling with the same thing. That's my guess, or at least it's interesting. Let's see. Kevin Vo says, strangers are friends yet to be made. Nice. I like that. All right. Hold on one second. Amanda, good to see you on. Let's see. Amanda, please forgive me. You're going to have to tell me where we met. I don't know which Amanda this is. I'm going to guess San Luis. That's just my guess. Enderox, let's see. How do we get... Okay. We'll talk about Enderox. We'll get to yours after. Bob Top, we'll answer your question right after. Definitely. All right. So stay tuned. We'll answer your questions. I just want to freaking focus on Rico. Like, right now, let's tackle this. Like, let's make something happen right now. So after Rico, we're going to continue on with our stories. Oh, Yoshi too. I didn't forget about you. I'm just going to do all the questions and comments in order. So Kiargo, you too as well. Okay, Rico says, let's see, I'm going to trust what you're saying. Oh, where we talked about that. Okay, Rico is super shy. I don't want, okay, yep, mentioned that. Cool. She's at the new job. Okay, Yoshi, noted. And if I forget it, sorry, there's a lot of comments. It's hard to organize everything. If I miss it, I'm going to look back. If I miss it, please just remind me and I'll look back again, okay? I want to make sure all the questions are answered. So going back to Rico. Rico, you're super shy. You're afraid that you're going to get hurt, rejected, and it's freaking scary. Like, I get it. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, the only way you're going to get past your social anxiety is by pushing through. And Rico, another thing I would recommend is just YouTube or Google, how to overcome social anxiety. I bet there's a million different resources out there, tips, strategies of how you break the ice with people, conversation starters, and all that stuff. Rico, I know this is scary, but I'm going to challenge you a little bit here. I'm going to challenge you. Look, it's one thing to read, watch YouTube videos, watch me speak, go on Google and search how to overcome social anxiety. And what's even more important is the other thing. The other thing is taking action. That's the scariest part. Okay, so you've done it. So Rico, you already know everything you need to know in order to overcome social anxiety. The next step is just taking action. Like, that's literally the only way you're going to overcome your social anxiety, is just saying, like, you know what, screw it, let's just freaking do it. And it's up to you when you are ready to do it. Like, seriously, set a date and just do it. Think about that one person, challenge yourself, make one little challenge to yourself, or big challenge. Think about maybe that friend. that little group of friends that you might have, you know, you're shy around, but you talk to them, you hang out with them, but you're like, oh man, I don't know what to say. I dare you, I challenge you to set a date and just be like, you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself to go there and talk to them for 30 seconds or 1 minute or talk about a certain topic. That's all. Let's see. I hope I can do it tomorrow when I meet them. Perfect. Like, Rico, you got this. Seriously, you got this. And Rico, what I want you to do is I want you to not focus on the outcome. Don't worry if you get rejected. Don't worry if they praise you, if they like, oh, dude, you're so cool, man. Like, don't worry about the outcome, positive or negative. It's not about the outcome. What's more important in this moment right now for you, Rico, is the fact that you did it. So push yourself to do it. Sorry, hold on. I don't want to tell you what to do. Anyway, if and when you choose to go up to them and challenge yourself, and then you accomplish that challenge, know that you're the one who created that challenge, not me. I'm just giving you information. Know that you made the decision to push yourself into that situation, and just be happy that you did it. And if you don't, if you freak out and you're like, ah, crap, I didn't do it. I feel so bad. I feel so ashamed and guilty. Don't beat yourself up either. You know, like, just let yourself be. Accept yourself. We all have our struggles. It's okay. You know, things are challenging, and guess what? There's going to be another moment. But again, as this whole conversation of today is, our struggles will never go away until we face them. Just keep that in mind. Our struggles will never go away until we face them. So if you want to get over your social anxiety, you got to keep pushing forward. All right? Rico, you got this. If you have any more questions or comments, shoot me an email, okay? richard@richardco.com. All right. You guys are all awesome. Guys, ladies, and people. All right. So let's get back on track with these comments. Hold on. Yoshi, I'm trying to find yours. I don't know. Okay. Nope, we didn't go that far back. All right. Kiargo, let's see. Alrighty. Kiargo says, Richard, I've been struggling with this girl over like 2 years now. I just can't get rid of her out of my mind. What do I need to do? It's just so hard. I cried like every day and it's killing me. Whew, goodness. I know how that is. I empathize with you. I had a biggest crush in my whole entire life. Massively obsessed with her. I used to type in this private journal 2 pages every single day, and it was the most depressing year of my whole entire life. One of probably the most depressing year of my whole entire life was sophomore year in high school, when I had this big crush on my best friend. I talk about her in my presentations. I call her Stacy, and it was so miserable. I was so miserable. So Kiargo, let's see. What's important is understanding your situation. You know, it's understanding do you already know there's no chance? Like, when I say that, do you already know, like, hard evidence, like she doesn't like you, she's told you she's not interested, or you know she likes someone else, that kind of stuff. So do you have that evidence? If you have that evidence, then I believe, my opinion is, you don't have to listen to it, but my opinion is that you get to set the expectation that, you know, things aren't going to work out for now. And you gotta give yourself space and time. Space and time. You know, maybe it's stop talking to her so much. Maybe it's, how do I say this? It's just distance yourself. And another thing is, when we go through a breakup or that really tough emotional state, you want to keep yourself busy with other meaningful tasks. So hang out with other people, join clubs, organizations, get involved with something. Sports, whatever it is. And what you want to do is you want to spend as little time thinking about her as possible. I know it's super tempting to think about her. Why? Because it's like, we want to be a victim of her story. We want to feel sorry for ourselves. We want to almost pity ourselves, be like, oh man, I'm going through such a tough time. Why? Because it's comforting. It's comforting to have pity on ourselves. But that's not going to help us move forward. So you could have a little bit of pity of yourself. You know, you can feel a little bit sorry for yourself. But remember, the responsible thing, the thing that's going to move you forward is shifting your focus away from her and focusing on yourself. So just know, I know you've heard this already, but there's plenty of other fish in the sea if she's not, you know, it doesn't work. And This is my little idealistic mindset, but I always hold that little thought in the back of my head that, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And in the future, maybe we'll meet up again and maybe something will happen. So I want to tell you a little bit about my one and only girlfriend. My one and only girlfriend, we were together for 3 years, junior year in high school all the way till like sophomore year in college. And that was 9 years ago. So we broke up, and you know, I was hurt, but I still had feelings for her. I still like I still want to be. I remember 1 year after we broke up, I still wanted to be with her, and I just kept this. I'm like, I get it, you know, if a relationship is a two-way street, if she doesn't want to be a part of it, then that's okay. And we were still best friends throughout this whole time, and I couldn't help but just like, I remember 1 year later, I asked her, I'm like, hey, you know, do you think we'll ever get back together? Yoshi, I did not forget. Trust me, I did not forget. I don't know if I haven't gotten to your comment yet, it's above or below, but either way, I did not forget. We'll answer your question in just a second. Going back to my friend, my best friend who used to be my girlfriend. And I remember I just had this little idea in my head that was like, you know what? If things are meant to be, if this relationship is really meant to be, then we will reconnect together and we'll be in a relationship again, you know, and whatever, down the line. And what's interesting is that she's actually getting married to someone else, but I'm not bitter about it. Like, I'm actually super happy for her. And what I've learned is you know, 9 years later, is that not all relationships are meant to be. And when I look at my friend, I love my friend. I love my ex-girlfriend. Like, she is amazing. She's still one of my best friends. I'm hanging out with her, tomorrow, the day after, sometime this week, twice. And I don't have that like, oh man, I wish we were still together. You know, before I did. But I don't know how to say this. Like, every single story is different, but like, I'm super happy for her. I think she's such a great person. She has such a great personality. But I think there's a little bit something in a romantic relationship wise that maybe probably doesn't fit. So that's all. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. All right, let's keep going. Yoshi, I see it. Hold on, I just want to make sure I do this all in order. Oh man, we got a lot of questions. Okay. All right. Tokyo Dragon asks, how old am I? I'm 28. Bob Top says, I struggle with low self-esteem. I've been struggling for years. Doesn't matter how many people say they care about me. The negative thoughts never leave me. Bob Top, let's see. Bob Top, I'm going to encourage you to watch my stream yesterday. So yesterday I talked a lot about, hold on. Oh goodness. Oh man, hold on, I got to find this live stream. I did a live stream literally where I talked about that negative voice inside our head and how dominant it is. Like, it is stupid controlling of our mind. And so here, Bob Top, I'm going to summarize this very quickly because I've already talked about this. I'm happy to talk about it. I don't want other people to hear the same thing over and over again. So Bob Top, super simple. We have a positive voice. I call it the vision focused voice. Not just positive voice, the vision focused voice. And then we have the negative voice, which I call Felicia. Felicia is like, you know, bye Felicia. The point is, we're going to have two voices in our heads. And this voice is always super powerful in many of us. It's the one that says, you know, you suck, you're not good enough, you're fat, you're ugly, you're not attractive, you're stupid, all those conversations. And what I'll tell you, I hope you can just trust me on this. This is through many, many years of experience in figuring this out. All this negative voice, guess what? It's not true. Those negative things you say to yourself, none of them are true. Like, literally, I don't know how to explain this. It's like, we create our own beliefs. So sure, if you believe that these negative voices are true, they will become true. But guess what? In my world, in my thought process, I know those negative thoughts are not true. Any negative thought is not true. Why? Because I choose the positive voices to be true. Now, this doesn't mean I'm stupid and ignorant and, blind. It just means we got to choose. Do we want the positives to be true or the negatives? And I choose positive. However, those negative voices are always going to be there. They're always going to bother us. And what we get to do is be like, yo, Felicia, hey, I respect you. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend it's not there. If you pretend it's not there, it's going to keep coming back. So you're like, yo, Felicia, I appreciate you. You know, I know you're there. I acknowledge you, but you get to hang out in the cottage in the back of my mind. Go chill there. Go play some Nintendo. Go flip some pancakes. You know, make yourself a cup of tea and just relax back there, because I don't want to focus on you. I want to focus on the positive vision focus voice that says you are good enough. You can do it. You are smart. You're intelligent. You're capable. All that kind of stuff. So again, those negative thoughts, they are all just voices. They are not truths. Like, you might believe they are truths, you know? So whatever positive things people say, you just ignore them. I get it. I was there. Like, I 100% get it. Today I realize all that is just BS. That negative voice is all just BS. If you don't believe me right now, that's perfectly okay. Like, I 100% believe all those negative voices are just complete BS. But we still keep buying into them because that's how our mind has been structured and trained to do. Okay? If you got, like, look, email me, like, shoot me a message. Let's talk about this more. Seriously. Let's freaking tackle this. You know, I'm tired. I'm tired of freaking us living our lives feeling, you know, having low self-esteem, not believing in ourselves. And that's why I do this. You know, like, it sucks. It sucks that so many of us struggle with self-esteem and insecurities and stuff like that. But that's just a part of being a human being. And that's why we have this channel. That's why we have this live stream daily, because let's just freaking get past the challenges so we can start being happy with our lives. Like, that's what I got. Christine, good to see you on. I see you on. All right. Let's see. All right. Keely says, it's hard trying to care about those who don't care about you. When you find someone interesting, but you can't force anyone to be your friend, and you sense that they don't care. Hold on. It's hard trying not to care about those who don't care about you. When you find someone interesting, but you can't force anyone to be your friend, and you sense that they don't care. It's always hard for me to let go of someone I find interesting, but doesn't care about you. Got it. Nice. Keely, let's talk about this real quick. So, Keely, if you're hanging out, or any one of you are hanging out with people who might be interesting, but they don't care about you, you know, they're not invested into you, guess what? Chances are you're hanging out with them because you lack self-esteem. You know, I'm not trying to blame or, you know, accuse anyone, but the thing is, like, people, like, here, let's get straight to the point. The point is, if they're not willing to invest their energy and their attention towards you, move on. You know, don't waste your time with people who are going to suck your energy away, who are not going to, you know, create that positive energy towards you. You know, even if they're interesting. You know, I think it's so important, relationships, that both sides are invested into it. If they don't care about you, move on. Don't waste your time. You're better than that. Seriously. That's all I have to say. I got to learn how to be concise. Kiargo says, is it okay to go for a therapist? I'm just literally crying like every day and it's killing me. Kiargo, straight up, I highly recommend therapy. And, like, I just want to say, like, I don't know what people's thought process are around therapists. You know, I think there's a certain stigma around it. Drop the freaking stigma. Like, I think therapists, I've heard so many great things about therapists. And every single therapist is different. You know, some are better than others. But I've heard so many great things about therapy. I've had friends whose lives have changed because of therapy. Not because something was wrong with them, but they just needed a space to talk out their challenges. And guess what? It really helped them. So I highly recommend, if you have access to a therapist, do it. Like, that's what I have to say there. What else do I have to say? I know a lot of famous people. I know a lot of actresses. I have actress friends who go see therapists. And, you know, they're not crazy. They want to level up their emotional game. And it's like going to school. It's like a class. A one-on-one coaching class, or whatever it is you want to call it. So yes, I recommend therapy. All right. Let's see, Rico. Yep. Okay. Kiargo, it's cool. You know, it's okay to cry. Let it go. Let your emotions out. Let your emotions out. That's what I got. All right, Yoshi, here we go. Finally got to your question. I know it's been a while. Yoshi says, I have always been bullied and provoked. I don't know what to do. Then I can't understand why people who once threatened me and hurt me, then I can't escape them. They're at every corner and every wall. All right, Yoshi. Yoshi, I got a few resources for you. Let's see. Sorry. When I talk, I got like mucus in my nose or something. All right, so Yoshi, the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm straight up gonna promote another speaker. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, I'm gonna search our YouTube link and I'm gonna copy and paste it into the chat. What is it called?
Sociologists have been studying bullying.
All right, cool. Here we go. So, Yoshi, hold on. Can I send you a message? Whatever. I'm just gonna put it in chat. All right. So, do you see that, Yoshi? I just sent you a link. Raska, good to see you on, brother. So, Yoshi, I just dropped a link in the comments in the stream, and that link is pretty much how do you deal with bullies. And I love this. I mean, this is such a great video. It's I wish it was me doing that video, you know, that presentation, but it's not me. It's Brooks Gibbs. But he talks about if someone's bullying you, how do you stop that? Literally, you stop bullying with kindness. Like if someone's bullying you, don't get defensive. Don't be like, stop it. Like stop making fun of me, or like, you know, because then that just feeds it even more. But if you if you counteract it, just watch the video. Like if you counteract bullying with positivity, like they have no more fuel to use. They're like, oh shoot, this is awkward. Like I can't bully him anymore because he's not reacting to it. Bullies feed off of that like that defensiveness, and that's what keeps them going. So that's what I have. If you don't like that style, if it's kind of weird for you, let me know, and you know we'll talk even more. Seriously, Yoshi, again, let me know what you think about that video. Let me know if it resonates with you, and if you got any more questions, just shoot me an email and let's chat one-on-one. Okay, happy to help, and yeah, most definitely. We will continue that. All right. Bovek says, I just learned to accept my losses and just worked on improving myself. Things turn out all for the better. That's awesome. Good stuff. All right. Let's see. Androx, I don't know if this is a serious question. I mean, people hop on here and keep asking the same thing. I really can't tell if these are troll comments or real. How do you get rid of masturbation? I don't know how to... Let's see. How do you get rid of it? I don't know how to say it. It's choice. I mean, this is kind of I wish I knew more about this topic. I feel like masturbation, and we'll put in watching porn as well, is kind of a form, like why we as human beings, and we live in a culture where it's very normal to masturbate and watch porn. But I feel like why we do it is because we crave connection. You know, I don't know what it is, crave intimacy or something like that. And I believe, I don't know how to say it. This is tough. I wish I knew more about this one. So, how do I say this? This is such a this is a tough topic for me to talk about. It's like I don't know if enough about it, and like the whole psychology around it. Goodness, in general, I would say like in terms of masturbation, it's like I feel like it's a choice. Part of it is a choice, and I don't know how to say it. It's like human being nature wants, in my opinion, wants us to masturbate in a way. But how do I say this? That's a tough one. My answer is it's just a choice. Like if you want to stop masturbating, like it's a choice. It's I don't know, go for a 30-day challenge, 30-day no fap challenge, and maybe that'll work out for you. All right. Hey, if you want to dig deeper into the conversation about masturbation, let me know. Ask more detailed question. Let's go there. All right. Let's see. We talked about self-esteem. Yep, we got that. Keely, did I skip your question? Or was that like a long time ago? Hopefully I didn't skip your question. Let's see. If I skipped your question, let me know. Hope I can do it when I meet them tomorrow. Yep. All right. Bob Top says, Richard, I got social anxiety. Okay, that's cool. I love that you're all supporting each other. That's really cool. Callie Day says, I had social anxiety and I was very anxious about what people would think or react with me. But once I let go of the kind of mindset and just let my own personality show, they learn to just adjust with it. That's awesome. That's so perfect. You can do it, Rico. You got this, bro. That is so perfect. Seriously, like I love that example. Like once you just learn to let go, everything will be better and it'll work out. Okay. Limit Break 32 says, isn't there a line between thinking positively and being delusional? Thinking positive and being delusional. How do I say this? Yes and no. So when I'm being positive, so going back to the whole like, listening to positive voices and negative voices. When I'm being positive, I'm not being delusional. It's, how do I say this? Okay, here, let's start with this. I don't believe I'm delusional, okay? Here's how I see this is my perspective of being positive. So let's say I have all these negative voices of like, Richard, you're stupid, you're not good enough, you're fat. Let's take your fat. That's a perfect one. So I don't know how to say this. It's kind of tricky. So being fat is very subjective. That's based off everyone's opinion, People have different opinions. Some people, let's say there's a plus size model, we could argue, is this person fat? I believe that people would argue, like some people are like, oh yeah, she's a plus size model, duh, she's fat. But I think a lot of people would argue, no, she's not fat. Look how beautiful she is, whatever it is. So that's not delusional, that's just perspective. Like that is their own opinion, and who are we to say they're wrong and we're right? What defines that? And what defines fat? Does being obese mean you're fat? Does being overweight mean you're fat? Who knows? There is no scientific number of you are fat when you are this. It's all just perspective. So anyway, let's go back to positive voices versus negative voices. So what's a good example? Let's stick with the whole concept of being fat. So back in the day, I was 210 pounds and I was borderline obese. That was, that's part of my story. So let's just pretend this is a hypothetical situation. This didn't actually happen, but when I was 210 pounds, of course, I was beating myself up. You're Richard, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. But let's just pretend I'm 210 pounds in this moment. And I got two voices. I got the negative voice, Richard, you're fat. The other voice is like, Richard, you're not fat and you can do it. You can lose weight, whatever it is. So in this context, like let's say I have this mindset and I weigh 210 pounds. If I'm being 100% real, there's going to be the voice in my head that Felicia that's like, Richard, you're fat, you're not attractive, no girl's ever going to like you, all that stuff. That voice is going to be there. That's very real. But the positive voice, if I were 210 pounds, let's say I was 300 pounds or 400 pounds, just to over exaggerate for the purpose of this example. The positive voice is going to be like, yo, Richard, yeah, you might be a little bit overweight. I'm not delusional. I acknowledge you might be a little bit overweight, a little bit obese, maybe a little bit more than just overweight. But guess what? Your self-esteem, your self-worth is not just based off how much you weigh. Your self-esteem, your self-worth is based off the character that you are, the heart that you have, and the value you provide to other people. So that's me not being delusional. It's being aware of the current situation that I'm obese and I should probably lose weight, but I could still listen to my positive voice that's going to guide me towards my vision. Versus, Richard, you're fat. No girl's ever going to like you. So that's the difference between being positive and delusional. Delusional is being 400 pounds and being like, I'm not fat. I'm perfect. Goodness. Hold on. I need to take that back. Like, that might not even be delusional. To some people, they might be perfectly comfortable with being 400 pounds. I might think they're fat and obese, but if they are comfortable with it, granted they're going to probably have some health problems, but if they're comfortable with it, so what? They're happy, cool, I'm happy too. It's like, so let's go back to being positive versus being delusional. Okay, here's my thought. I should have said this before. If you're happy, who the heck cares if you're delusional? I'm going to repeat that again. If you're happy, who the heck cares if you're delusional? Why would you even care? If you're happy, you're happy. Isn't that all you should really care about, being happy? That's my opinion. Yeah. Hopefully that was good. I don't even need to hope because I like my own answer. So there we go. All right, Bob Top, I'm going to watch the live stream and email you about it. Like I said, it's been plaguing me for years. All right, Bob Top, let's do this. Let's handle it. All right. Keely, you just answered. Cool, perfect. Raskid, back to you. I have finals starting tomorrow. Honestly kind of pumped because I have a legit almost 3-week break after this week of hell. Awesome, man. Congratulations. Keep going. Christine Abrio says, guys, please pray for me in my finals. I finished today and 4 to go. Best of luck to everyone. Christine, good luck. Good luck to everyone who's taking finals this week. Good luck. All right, Christine says, thanks, man. I hope your situation improves too. Thank you very much. Raskid says, you're awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. All right, cool. So awesome. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is seriously one of, in my opinion, one of the coolest live streams that we've done this week. And I don't know, I love this positive energy. It's like, it's such a great, like, you all ask such great questions. You all add so many awesome things to this conversation. And I feel like this is just a great topic overall for today. And Rico, and seriously, everyone who's contributed to this conversation, love it. All right, so tomorrow, same time, we're going to do our live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same time as always. And let me know if you email me or if you want to talk about a certain topic. You know, I tend to just free flow and come up with a topic a few minutes before, just based off what I'm learning in that moment of the day. Okay. Everyone, thank you so much again for being on. I appreciate you hanging out with me and connecting and supporting each other. Showing love towards each other. I love it, and let's keep doing this. Let me know how I can better structure these conversations. Should I make them shorter? I was going to say longer, but I think they're long enough. Should I come prepared with certain questions or certain thoughts or certain questions? What else can we do? How else can we make this a better experience for you? Should we do it on a different platform? Let me know your thoughts. Okay, cool. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much. Lots of love, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening if you're in the States. If you're somewhere else in the world, then in that case, have a wonderful day, okay? And Bob Top says, goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the discussion. Richard, you're welcome. Most definitely. Yoshi says, I watched the video right, but if someone hurts me physically, I don't have the self-esteem to fight back or do anything. So, Yoshi, Yoshi's talking about getting bullied physically. How do you deal with that? This is one of those topics I get to understand, have more knowledge around, because this is obviously a topic that is relevant with schools I speak to. So people are getting bullied. So if you're getting physically bullied, so this kind of goes down to several things. Okay, the first thought that comes, I know, Yoshi, I know you don't want to go to this because it feels kind of weak and you're ratting people out, but seriously, if you're getting physically abused and it's bothering you, talk to your teachers or talk to your principal. I know you don't want to do it. I get it. You don't want to feel like a wimp or whatever it is, but seriously, nobody at school should be bullied in any way, physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, nothing. A school should be a safe place where you get to do your work. That's really what it should be. And again, if you're getting physically picked on, ask for support. Don't be afraid. And I get it. Bullies are going to be, how do I say this? Bullies are going to, react a certain way, but it's you're not the only one with the problem. I'm going to talk about bullies real quick before I hop off. So, I don't know if you ever heard this phrase. I love this phrase. It's hurt people hurt people. So bullies who hurt people, they hurt people because they are hurt. Meaning, this is interesting. Bullies, I don't know how, it's we're talking about, this is a little bit of a side conversation, but for me, bullies aren't bad people. It's just that they have a lot of crap going on in their lives, and maybe their parents aren't there, or maybe their parents are abusive. So again, hurt people hurt people. So just understand that if you get bullied physically, whatever, no, it's not your fault. No, it's other people just choosing on whoever they feel is easy to bully. I know that didn't really answer your question, but I hope that gives you a little bit of context to know that it's not your fault. And I don't know. I wish everyone were responsible enough where if you're like, hey, yo, look, I don't appreciate you doing that. Can we talk about this? Some bullies will be willing to have that kind of conversation. Well, I think other bullies won't be able to. Ask teachers and stuff like that for support. It's okay. Just because they quote unquote get in trouble or whatever, if you tell them, like, I think what's more important than them getting in trouble is that they learn to be better people. And, they're really just, bullies are just looking for that space to learn and grow themselves. All right. Let's go. Let's see. Raskin says, surround yourself with friends who care. Yep. Bullies usually are hurt the most inside. Absolutely. Dang, you beat me to the punchline, Richard. Hey, that's cool that we're in alignment. Keely says, if you're in college, they offer free therapy sessions on campus. Thank you for that recommendation for everyone. So anyone who's in college who needs therapy, they got free sessions on campus. And if you're in high school, you probably have a school counselor / therapist or psychologist or something like that too. And then Yoshi says, I talked to the teachers and they did no help. I learned it the hard way and tried to defend my self. And the teachers made me look like that bully. But what if teachers don't help? Talk to your principal. Talk to administration. If the teachers aren't helping, talk to the administration. Talk to someone else. Because not all teachers are going to react the same way. So find someone that is reliable enough for you to actually talk, and they're actually going to do something about it. Yeah. So, hey, let's Yoshi, let's keep in touch, all right? Please keep me posted with this whole bullying situation. You don't get to be bullied, seriously. And yeah, shoot me an email or something. Let's continue the conversation. I want to make sure that this gets resolved. You don't get to keep being bullied. That's not fair to you, and it sucks that you were the chosen one. Yeah, that's silly. All right, hey, appreciate it, Yoshi. All right, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same time as always. We'll see you tomorrow, okay? Take care. Lots of love. Have a good night. Bye.